I hope this finds you well and that you're taking good care of yourself wherever you are. Today, I want to talk to the kids. Anybody that has a parent or parents, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about your parents. I want to talk to you about our behaviors as kids, right? How our behavior affects our parents also negatively. I want to have a stern conversation. And this is not anything really to do maybe with psychology or anything. It's more about sometimes as children or as kids to our parents, we can create the most stress and the most havoc for our parents just because we feel that I wasn't asked to be born. That's one of the biggest things that we hear in therapy. I didn't choose to be born, and so it's your responsibility as a parent. And mostly that comes up when a parent is very disappointed or very sad about, the sacrifices I made for you. I with the little that I have, I try and make you feel as comfortable as possible. I have two or three jobs, or I want the best for you. I want what I didn't have. And to a degree, maybe you don't understand as a child or as a child of that person talking about their struggles and where they are coming from and what they didn't have and what it is that you want to that they want for you, because your reality is just this time frame. Let's say you are 15 years old, right? So you don't really understand the things that they went through on an emotional level. You can hear it and understand it, but you cannot relate, and that I also understand. But there's so many things that teenagers do in teens and young adults, especially if you have any of your parents, and I'm not talking to anybody that's an orphan. Sometimes, because we feel entitled, we feel that it's not our fault for being on this earth. You want the best. If you don't get the best, you slam the door, you do this. You have your mood swings because you may be trying to figure it out in your teen years. But once you're an adult, you still continue to put pressure on your parents because of a form of manipulation, because they are your parents, they are supposed to. Yes and no. Yes, they are supposed to make sure that you're safe and that you get everything that you need, not just everything that you want, but also try to understand that your parents are also just human beings. They too are children of either their own parents that have passed away, or maybe you have grandparents or great grandparents. They are also just kids to those people. Now, I'm going to say this from a personal point of view. If I'm frustrated and overwhelmed about a lot of things, there are times I'm like, oh, I wish I can call my dad. My mom is still around and I do call her, but sometimes it's like, I wish I could just call my dad and I can just tell him. Or when he calls, I know that I can just break down as his daughter, right? To a degree, because maybe I'm struggling as a parent as well in terms of parenting. So we need to recognize that as much as you love your parents and as much as your parents love you, sometimes it helps if you can just cooperate. Sometimes when they're being strict, sometimes when they're trying their best to make sure that you are safe and you have everything that you need, it doesn't help when you lash back at them. It's like, my parents don't get me, or my parents are so strict, or my parents are just, yes, they are that, but they also have an experience and they foresee specific things because they are older. So let's not always crucify our parents. Sometimes look at them and just see them as human beings who were once teenagers, who were also loved by their parents, or also didn't get maybe the love that they got, because sometimes the experience is like, because I didn't have all of this, I want my child to have this, because I recognize how I felt as a child not having that. So let's respect the sacrifices our parents are going through for us, especially if it's positive. And yes, you didn't ask to be there, but you could definitely be the best thing that happened to them, so that they can also get out of whatever mentality they were in, that they grew up in, to be a better person and a better parent. So be nice, be kind to your parents, go to school, just read up, memorize things. You don't have to get A pluses. Memorize, because you only have about 11 months in school or 10 months in school, where you can just read, get your D's and maybe C's, so that you can at least, should they pass away, you can stand on your own. Because it's not guaranteed that you're going to have them forever and ever. Just like they don't have their parents, you too will become an adult and your parents will also not be there. And sometimes you will get stuck and you just want to call that parent and say, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. And sometimes because of our attitudes and our behaviors right now, you push them away because you want to be independent. You don't want, you want to be this and that, and you're not, I have this right, and if anything happens to me, I'm going to report my parents to the police, and yes, sometimes that approach can break your parents' heart. They double check their parenting skills. They get tired, they don't know what they're doing wrong, and society is also putting pressure on them by actually looking down at them. So let's be nice. I know sometimes you might not understand the strictness, but if you can have a conversation, just check yourself when you're being hard to your parents, that they are too human. And sometimes it's just maybe the communication that's not too perfect, but be nice so that you don't have someone pass away from a heart attack or a stroke because they're stressed and they're so hurt by the harsh comments that we sometimes give them as kids and as teens as well. So teens, be nice to your parents, especially if they're doing their best to be there for you. I'm not talking about absent parents and the parents that are neglecting you, but if they're trying, sometimes just look at them and see the human being that they are. And do nice things for them too as well. Take them out or make breakfast, wash the dishes, so that at least they're happy because they love you. That's why they're trying. Okay, so I hope this helps. Let's just take care of ourselves and our parents as well, okay? All right, I'll see you again.